What's up, guys, and welcome back to Road to the Show. Now, despite a mediocre combine and an even worse game, we still ended up getting drafted, although in a late 18th round to the New York Mets. And that means we ended up getting sent to AA Binghamton to become a Rumble Pony. And that's where we pick up the story right now for our first professional game, as we are going to end up taking on the New Hampshire Fisher Cats in Game 3 of this short 3-game series. Now, if we look right now, we're going to end up simulating, obviously, through the first 2 games because we are going to be the number 3 starter for this team. And unfortunately, we end up losing our first 2. So it ends up coming down to us to be able to end up kind of taking that 3rd game from these guys in the series and make sure that we don't get swept. That's going to be a little tough. Obviously, this is going to be our first professional start. But honestly, I'm feeling much more comfortable with the controls now. And even though we weren't necessarily going with any kind of strategy when we were pitching in that first game because we were just trying to get the ball over the plate, this time we're really going to think more about how to attack these hitters. Because, again, there's a little bit of psychology that goes into it. So we really want to try to get into the hitters' heads and make sure that we kind of keep them off balance. So looks like they got some pretty good players here. Their best one is a 65 overall, who is their cleanup hitter. But they do have a couple guys down in the 50s, so hopefully we'll be able to attack those guys pretty well and make sure that they're going to be instant outs when we get to them. Now, obviously, it's the first start for Ryan Jennings as well, so we don't have any stats, and I really wish I could see how all of them ended up doing too. But it's going to be a nice little surprise when we get into the game, but let's go. First professional game, let's go at home in Binghamton against New Hampshire, and let's see if we can end up picking up a victory here. Okay, well, there we go. Now we actually get to see the stats. And they're 65 overall. The best one on their team is hitless this season. Will Robertson, Peyton Williams, the 2 guys that were down in the 50s, are actually doing pretty well. They're hitting 400 and 333 respectively, so maybe we are going to have to pitch around them a little bit more. But again, looks like they have a couple guys that are actually doing pretty well. So let's just go out there, let's do our best to attack these hitters, and let's see if we can get through this first game and end up having our team pick up their first victory of the season. We really don't want to get swept here, especially against New Hampshire. So let's see what we can do as we go out there. Hopefully our bats can start to wake up a little bit too, because our 4 and 5 hitters have not picked up a hit yet this season. Luke Voigt, though, is down here in Binghamton, and he's hitting 400. That's pretty cool. Hopefully we can get sent up with him at some point. But here we go, our first AA game as we take on New Hampshire, the Fisher Cats. Again, I really love all the nicknames that all the minor league teams have. Makes it so much fun. And I never thought I'd ever be a Rumble Pony, but look at us now, heading out to the porch. And obviously, since we are at home, we get to start out in the field. So let's see if we can really set the tone here and be able to kind of start off this game pretty well as we start off with the ball. That's all right. Get those jitters out, buddy. We need you out here. We can't get swept by this team. Not looking good there, unfortunately. I know I said I was feeling a little more comfortable with the controls, but, you know. Yeah, that's not too bad. At least we got that one in the zone. We'll take that. It's 2-1. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to lie to you guys about that, but you know what? It is a little better than it was when I started, so we will take that. There we go. Another nice pitch down the middle with the splitter there. Kind of caught him a little off guard. Well, let's see if we can finish him with a fastball inside. Maybe a little up and in, too. Let's see if we can get him to go on this one. And we do. And our first batter here in AA goes down on strikes. Let's go. Let's keep this up. That's the kind of start we really needed here. So let's see if we can go with a splitter outside. A little too far outside on that one. Let's go. We're going to go with the fastball. Let's see if we can just get a strike here. Then we can really kind of start to play with our pitches. A little late, and yeah, we leave that one a little down. That's not good. Oh, and this guy ended up hitting a home run in the last game too. So again, we want to get it down the middle, but we don't want to serve a meatball like that one right there. And it goes back, but thankfully our left fielder's there, and let's go. We end up getting the second out of the game. Now let's see if we can actually finish this inning off right. Hopefully no base runners here. Hey, you know what? That's a good first pitch. A fastball right off the plate. That's not too bad. Let's bring this one inside a little bit though. Want to kind of change where he's seeing the pitch. And that one goes right down the middle. Please make sure someone gets there. Thankfully, we have a good center fielder. Ends up tracking that one down. And we get out of the inning after 2 pretty big hits, but thankfully to our fielders, and is now still 0-0 as we go into the bottom of the first. Unfortunately, the offense was not able to score on that one, but as we get into the second inning here, we just need to hold them again, and thankfully we get to start off right with a nice little strike there. Let's see if we can get the right down the middle with the circle change. We do, and he ends up lofting that up to right field and ends up making the catch. Now, to be honest with you, I can actually hear on my headphones that are over here that we have the announcers, so let me turn that off quickly before we get into this next batter. No offense to the announcers or anything, but come on, man, you're cramping my style here. But let's go. Let's go with another pitch kind of down the middle. Let's go. A little bit off the plate, and that's a good way to start as we go 0-1 here. Now let's go. You want to go fastball again. Let's go a little up and in, though. Let's kind of change his eye level, and let's see what we can do. That's actually a pretty nice one. That's pretty good, too. That's actually going to set us up for a down and away. And I think we're going to actually... I think I'm actually going to go with the circle change on this one. So we'll kind of ride down and away from the lefty. Let's just make it a good one here. A little early. Unfortunately, we leave that one up. But if we go back to the fastball down and in... I hate throwing down and into lefties, but let's go with the fastball there. We actually hit our spots. And yeah, like I said, that's why I don't like hitting down and into lefties. But thankfully, the center fielder gets there and picks up another out. 2 outs in the second and only 16 pitches. We're actually having a pretty efficient game here. We're going to start off with the fastball again because, hey, that's been working. He ends up taking that one kind of down the middle, but down kind of at the shins a little bit. Let's keep going back to the fastball. Let's go to the outside on this one, though. I feel like if we throw it off the plate, it's going to be pretty good. It's actually pretty close to the plate, but obviously not quite a strike. So let's go to the splitter, and let's throw this a little inside. He's seen a couple outside. Let's bring it in. Let's jam him a little bit. Unfortunately, it doesn't take the bait on that one as that one goes low. So again, let's just try to get it back in the zone here. We'll throw it a little in. We'll jam him a little bit again. Maybe that'll actually get him to... I was going to say fly out or potentially kind of ground one weakly to the right side, but thankfully that one ends up going foul. And let's see if we can strike him out on the 2-2 pitch here. I feel like we have the repertoire to do it. Oh, that's nice. Did he go? You bet he did. That's fantastic. And we end up striking him out. Ends up trying to check his swing, but goes a little bit too far. And we now go into the bottom of the second with a 0-0 tie. And despite getting a hit in that inning, unfortunately, we did not end up getting any runs. And it's still 0-0 as we go into the third here. But again, we are pitching pretty well. We're being extremely efficient as well. And that's really nice to see because we definitely... need to do pretty well in this game, and we really don't want our team to have to go to the bullpen. We want to make sure to eat up some innings here, as unfortunately we catch that slurve a bit off the plate. But our splitter's really been working pretty well today, so let's keep going back to that. It's looking pretty decent. Ends up swinging a little early on that one, thankfully. He was expecting the fastball. So if he's expecting it, let's throw it up and in here. He's not going to be able to hit this one, I'm telling you. He's going to swing through this. Or he just watches it. That's actually a really good call. I was hoping to get him to chase on that one. Doesn't look like that was going to be the case. But he just saw up and in. Let's go down and away with the splitter here. And let's see if we can get him to swing through this. Oof. Well, thankfully that was right to the left fielder. We unfortunately threw that a little early. And that kind of left it up a little bit. But thankfully only hit it to the left fielder. And first out. And we're retiring them in pretty quick order, too. Again, we're only 26 pitches in, and we're in the third inning already. As we catch the outside of the plate for a strike on that one. Well, let's go. Let's go back to the circle change here. Let's go down and in. He just saw a little bit outside. We get him here. Did he go on that one? You bet he did. Now we got it 0-2. He's seen one down and away, one down and in. So what are we going to do? We're going for that two-seam up and in as well. He's going to swing through this one, or he's just going to kind of let it go. We just don't want to have it be a strike. Yeah, it's a little high. He wasn't going to chase that one. But that sets that up perfectly for a nice little slurve down and away. Hopefully he'll swing through this. Maybe he'll expect a fastball. That's a good one. Oh, I don't know how he laid off on that one, but that was a damn good eye. But let's see if we can get him on this one. 2-2, up and in. He just saw down and away. Let's get him right here. And let's go. We end up striking him out with the fastball up and in. Really great sequence right there. And we end up picking up our third strikeout of the game. Sorry, weird look on my face only because I was trying to think if that was the second or the third. But thankfully we end up picking that up anyways. Let's see if we can get our fourth right here in 3 innings. We actually did pretty well in that first game too with the strikeouts. We just didn't do great on limiting them on their hits and everything. But, that's a little rough there. That's a little rough. I thought that was going to be a strike, but apparently just a little inside. Well, let's see if we can get him down and away with the fastball. Nice. Swings right through that one. Doesn't look like he's keeping up with it. So what do you say we throw this up and in? Let's see if we can get him to chase again. Didn't look like he was ready for the fastball last time, and he wasn't right there either. Let's go. 2 consecutive strikeouts right there, and we pick up our 4th of the game as we go into the bottom of the 3rd with a 0-0 tie still. So despite picking up another hit, unfortunately we weren't able to score on that one. So let's go. Let's see if we can just continue to hold them here. Because if our offense is only going to score 1 or 2, we need to make sure that our defense is pretty solid and we aren't allowed to get them on base at all. As we leave that one over the middle, and that one could have been really, really bad. But thankfully we got bailed out on that one, and we're going to be able to go for a slurve down and away to try to finish him off right here. Let's see if we can get him to chase on this one. We just want to make sure that he doesn't get any good contact, and he doesn't. That is 3 consecutive strikeouts now. That is fantastic. And let's see. Again, we are going through this order for the 2nd time now, and that is always a little scary. So let's try not to have them see the same kind of sequence that they saw in the first one. Thankfully, we get the fastball a little up and away there. So let's throw a circle change a little down and in. Let's see if we can get him to chase that. And again, at least we have him kind of, wow, change his eye level. But there we go. He swings for that one. That's pretty nice that he's going to end up chasing that. But I'm actually going to go for a splitter down and away. Looks like he's willing to chase a lot of things. So let's see if we can do that too. Is this Javi Baez? It is not, as he leaves that splitter out and away. So let's finish him off with an up and in fastball. Again, 1 and 2, we don't want to give him anything that's too good, but we also want to have something that's going to challenge him. And that's one to do it as we end up having him pop it up. And the second baseman gets there for the 2nd out of the inning. Incredible. So again, extremely efficient here. We just broken 40 pitches of that last at-bat, and that is the 43rd right there. And we have 2 outs in the 4th inning. Let's see if we can get out of this one. Again, just pretty clean right here. Let's go for the circle change, a little down and away. Going to be a good one. We end up getting him to chase, and now let's finish him with that fastball up and in. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to this one. We just need to make it again. Not in the zone, but something to get him kind of chase, and he ends up swinging and fouling that one off. So we're going to have to go to one of my favorite out pitches. That's going to be the splitter, and let's throw that down and away. Let's see if we can get him to chase this too. Nope, not quite. We did leave that one a little bit low. The Bandit keeps it 100, you bet your... Anyway, let's go for the splitter one more time. I really want to get a strikeout on that. Again, that was my favorite out pitch when I was pitching. Oh, got a cover. But thankfully, he ends up getting there. Nice little ground out to the first baseman. I was hoping to kind of get a strikeout there, but you know what? Again, we take another hitless inning, and we get a good game now going into the bottom of the 4th. And finally, we have scored. And now we just got to maintain this lead now. We just need to keep doing what we're doing and not make any mistakes, as we have a nice pitch right there. Let's see if we can... No! Yes! Okay. Oh my gosh, that scared me for a little bit. Thankfully, it was close enough that he was able to kind of recover and get over to first. Apparently, I have to get the right thing over there and then do left trigger, I think is what it said. Either way, I'm sure we're going to end up getting a lot of different opportunities for that, so we'll be able to practice that. Thankfully, that didn't ruin our good game right here, as we end up throwing a fastball a little out and away. Let's see. Let's go back to the split. Again, that has been working pretty well today. We've gotten a couple ground balls on it. We've gotten a couple guys to chase, but he doesn't chase that time. And now we just need to get something into the zone. We just want to make sure that we don't push it to 3-0. Again, nothing too good, though. Nice. As we throw it a little down and away there, and he ends up hitting it and ends up fouling it off. So let's go back to the splitter now. Let's see if we can get this ball hit into the ground a little bit. Well, it does hit the ground, but unfortunately in the outfield, as he ends up getting a base hit. And there goes the perfect game, unfortunately. But thankfully, we do have 1 out, and again, a guy on first, so we have a chance to get a double play here. So let's go with the fastball. Let's go down and in. Thankfully, it doesn't look like he's really going to steal here, so we don't really need to keep an eye on him per se, but still, we do have to think about that a little bit. But let's see. Let's get some good... Oh, we're not able to challenge him. We go down 2-0 again. That is not what we want to see. But again, I really want to get a ground ball here. That's what we really need. And thankfully, he swings through that one. Now we have a 2-1. Looking pretty good now. I think if we get the circle change down, again, I think this might produce a ground ball. And if that's true, could be a double play. But thankfully, he fouls that off and is 2-2. He's going to have to protect a little bit. So let's go for the slurve. Let's see if we can get it down and away. And let's see if we can get him to chase. Not quite. Just a little off the plate. And let's go. Full count now. Let's get him with the fastball. Let's see if we can get a ground ball or a strikeout here. Oh, early. And yeah, that leaves it right over the middle. But our left fielder does have the speed to get there. And thankfully now we have it with 2 outs. And still only a guy on first. And thankfully we do have the bottom of their order. So that's always extremely nice. We do still have to worry about them because they are still good hitters. There's a reason why they're actually in the minor leagues. But regardless, again, not as scary as facing the heart of the order. So let's go for a change here. Good pitch. Oh, kicks it up the middle and ends up getting him out at second. Let's go. Thankfully, that one hit does not come back to haunt us. And we have it now 1-0 going into the bottom of the 5th. Oh, you got to check my hands. Got to check the glove. Don't worry, man. It's all digital. Could you imagine actually being in this video game, getting his hand checked, and for some reason it actually has the sticky stuff on it? Like, would they actually eject you? Imagine that. Like, it's not even your choice. It's just a random thing. Obviously, that would be ridiculous, and I doubt that they would do that, but still funny to think about. But let's go. 1-1. Let's get the circle change here. We just need to actually get it over the plate again. That's looking good. Lines it up the middle to the second baseman. Ends up getting him out at first. And again, only 63 pitches through 5 1/3. So let's keep that going. Again, really good efficiency. We want to make sure that we don't burn anyone in the bullpen. It'd be nice to be able to get into maybe the 7th, maybe the 8th inning, but we'll definitely see. Nice little ground ball up the middle. Shortstop gets there. And thankfully gets him. What a good play. It's nice to have a good field behind you. That's something I got blessed with at a couple schools. And thankfully we're getting it here in the minors as well. So let's go. Let's keep this going. Nice spot on that one. We have an 0-1. We're in control here on this one. Let's go for a splitter a little down and away here. I think we can get him to chase on this one. We do, and now we have it 0-2. Let's end the 6th inning in style right here. Let's get him chasing on an up and in fastball. He's not going to be able to hit this one. We're not like going to overpower anyone with our speed, but he swings through the 89-mile-an-hour fastball as we end up picking up our 6th strikeout of the game. Again, no runs for the offense that inning. However, we are getting into the 7th inning here where Coach is trotting us back out. And thankfully, we're starting off the right way and getting ahead in the count, 0-1. That's what we really want to do. That's one of the more important things is being able to, obviously, really get ahead in the count, but throwing that first pitch strike, man. Honestly, your odds get so much better as a pitcher if you end up hitting that first pitch strike. By the way, speaking of strikes, what do you say we strike him out here with the circle change down and in? He won't hit this. Watch. Okay, I lied, but thankfully hit it to the left fielder. He was able to get there in time, and we have our first out of the inning. I was hoping for a strikeout there, but still, as long as it's an out. But yeah, if you really want to improve your odds, that first pitch strike is so pivotal. And there it is again. I bet you we end up getting this out right here just because of that. I say that as I throw a splitter down and in, and he rots this. Well, rots this foul, apparently. But let's go. Let's go with the circle change down and away. We just threw one in and jammed him a bit. Let's see if we can get him chasing out. We don't. We throw that just a little bit low. And unfortunately can't get the strike call on that one. So let's go 1-2. Let's finish this off. We haven't really thrown the slurve very well, but we're going to go back to it. Because why not? Let's get him to chase here. Nope, we are not doing well with that. I think we need to really lay off the slurve for this game. I think we're going to have to go back to our other 3 pitches as we finish this guy off with a splitter right here. I'm just kidding. We threw it out and away. Now, if we would have thrown that just a little bit better with our, obviously our accuracy would be good. But here we go. Let's finish him off 3-2. We throw a fastball here. We'll get him right here. And he fouls that off. So let's go 3-2. Let's throw a fastball kind of down and away a little bit. Again, I want to make sure we don't walk him, but I also don't want to give him a meatball as he swings through that right there, and we end up getting another strikeout. Let's go. 6 2/3 now, and we're still getting strikeouts. I love it. One more out, and we get out of this 7th inning, and we're able to get through the 7th inning stretch and have our hitters get out there one more time to hopefully push this lead a little bit more. Again, I don't know how long Coach is going to keep us out there because, again, I don't know exactly what our stamina is. But again, we've only thrown 80 pitches now. We're looking really good. So again, we've thrown those kind of down and away a little bit. Let's jam them up and in. Let's see if we can get him to chase this one. And let's strike him out. Wow, that was actually a really good spot. But unfortunately, we couldn't get that call. So let's go for the splitter down and away. Again, changing his eye level here. Let's see if we can get him to chase. He does, but hits it right to the center fielder. Can't strike him out, but that's totally okay. We end up getting that last out of the 7th inning as we go into the bottom of the 7th with a lead of 1-0. Let's see if we can get some more. Well, no more runs, but looks like I'm getting a little tired. I need to really kind of pick and choose my spots here because I just don't want to make any really big mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, I don't know why you didn't call that one a strike. But either way, we're going to go to the splitter here. We've actually been getting that over the plate, and it's got some good movement too. And he ends up swinging through it. I love that. The circle change, I think, is going to work here too. Again, he saw the splitter. It's another off speed, but it's okay. He was expecting the fastball, and he swings through the circle change. And now our catcher wants to go for the splitter, so what do you say we bury this a little bit? We throw it a little down. Let's see if he ends up chasing it in the dirt. Nice pitch. Well, he ends up chasing it, but ends up hitting it to the second baseman, and we end up getting him out. First out of the 8th inning. We were actually pitching really well in this one. So since we are a little tired, I think we need to go to the pitches that are really working for us, and those are really the fastball and the splitter. Oh, that one's right over the middle. I say that as I don't throw that well, but thankfully it still goes to the center fielder. And now we have 2 outs. But again, I think we need to really just rely on the fastball and the splitter. Those are the ones that are probably working the best. Circle change ain't bad either, but in all honesty, again, I feel much more comfortable with those. As we end up getting the strike right off the plate on that one. We didn't get that one a couple batters ago, but thankfully we got it on that one. So let's go. We're going back to the splitter. I'm going to throw this one a little inside here. Again, I really want to change where he's seeing the ball. Thankfully, it is... Oh, no. No! But thankfully, he gets back. Yeah, it was the right trigger, not the left one. No wonder why I threw that off. But thankfully, we still end up getting out of that one. And I don't know if Coach is going to put us out there for the 9th, but dang, if that is our last inning right there, we did pretty well, and we're in line for the win. Well, Coach has faith in us, and we end up scoring another run, so I think he's probably going to wait until we end up giving up a base runner, but for now, this is our game. Let's see if we can keep it up. Never mind as we give up a base runner on the first pitch. And in all honesty, that might be where Coach ends it for us. That would be the smart time to actually do it. We want to make sure that we actually get someone out there who's fresh, who can close this game, because a 2-0 lead definitely ain't enough to really kind of keep us out there. If it was a 4-0 lead, could probably go for another batter, but honestly, this is the right time to take us out. And we have to hope that our closer is good enough to be able to get us this win. Hopefully he can pick up his first save of the season, and hopefully we don't get swept by New Hampshire. But Cam Robinson, it's a nice little change-up there. He's got 2 fastballs, the slider and the change-up. Going to be seeing kind of the same thing. We're around the same velocity, but let's see if he can close this out right here. And it looks like he does, and look at that. WallyTheBandit right there with the win. 1-0 this season. The only pitcher on our roster to have a win. Let's go. But that's awesome. Cam Robinson came in to end up getting the save. Of course, New Hampshire ends up winning the series, but thankfully we didn't get swept. And we look like the best pitcher on this team. Let's go. And hey, look at that. I didn't actually hear when we were doing the draft, but we were the first pick of the 15th round. I'm actually pretty proud of that. I thought we were in like the 17th or the 18th for some reason. But no, the Mets actually have some faith in us. And it actually pays off in this game as we end up going 8 innings, only giving up 2 hits and having 7 strikeouts. And honestly, Ryan Jennings didn't have a horrible game, but honestly, those walks are definitely what killed him there. I mean, he went 6 innings, gave up 3 hits, but had 6 walks. Had 7 strikeouts as well and gave up that 1 earned run, but look at our stat line again. The 8 innings, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts, no walks, no earned runs, and that is good enough to earn us a win in our very first professional game here. So let's go. Binghamton's got to be extremely happy with that one. And not too bad. I mean, we threw 28 balls, but we had 63 strikes. And honestly, that's actually a pretty decent ratio right there. Obviously, we want to throw some more strikes, but again, a pretty decent ratio, and it was enough to keep those hitters off balance. And look at this progress here. We're definitely increasing in a lot of good things right there. I wish that fielding could have been a little bit better, but obviously we threw 2 away, so our arm accuracy is a little off. But don't worry, again, we're going to end up learning those, and we're going to be good as time goes on. That walk per 9 and the K per 9 actually went up pretty well. Same with the hits. And everything else actually looks pretty good too. I'm liking that a lot. As you saw, first AA appearance, first AA start, first AA win, and first AA strikeout. 4 really great career milestones right there. So as we look at our calendar here, look at that right there. 0 ERA, a .25 whip. Absolutely incredible. But let's see, when is the next time we get a chance to start? Looks like we're going to be starting on Saturday against Erie. Is that Sea Wolves? Pirate Wolves? I don't know, but it's a wolf with an eye patch, so I feel like that's a sea something. But again, you never know with a lot of these minor league teams. Let's see if they're in the standings. But it looks like Erie is 2-1, and we're going to be facing Nick Starr, who is the pitcher in the game that they ended up losing. Ended up going 4 innings, had 4 strikeouts, but that 15.75 ERA is not great. So hopefully our offense can really kind of tee off on them. But looking at us, hopefully we can go out there and kind of replicate this kind of game against Erie next week. So again, Saturday game on the road in Erie. We're going to be taking on Nick Starr and the Erie something Wolves. But this is going to be really exciting. We had a really great first game. Really proud of how we played, and hopefully it won't be too long before we get called up to the show. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the game. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week against Erie.